Hello everyone and welcome back to the Unreal Engine C++ training series. I, like always, am Pharaoh, and today we're going to be talking about staying organized because when projects get large, it's pretty easy for things to get out of control. You end up not knowing where things are, you need to put things in folders, you need to categorize and subcategorize everything, and that's where this tutorial is going to come in and help. Now, you may have noticed when you go into the Unreal Engine and try to create a new folder in the C++ classes, you kind of can't. Cannot create new folders in classes game tutorial. And that can be kind of frustrating because you're like, I've got all these enemy types, right? And I want to keep them in an enemy folder. And we can actually do that. It's just not very intuitive because you can't do it from this menu right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new C++ class just like normal, and I'm going to make an actor. It really doesn't matter for the purposes of this tutorial, and we're going to come in and choose the folder that we want. And here we are in the normal source code where normally we would be seeing this code right here, or these files right here. But there are no folders to look into, so I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. I opened up this menu just by right-clicking, just like in normal Windows. I'm just going to say test folder, and I'm going to select that folder, and I'm going to create the class. And what this is doing is that this is the way that the Unreal Engine wants you to create new folders. I'm not sure exactly why it has to be done like this, but it definitely helps just knowing that this is here as an option. Alright, so we've got myactor.cpp and myactor.h, and if we look over into the Solution Explorer, we can see that we've got source, tutorial, and then test folder, and under test folder we have myactor.cpp and myactor.h. Now if I wanted to include my actor into something, I would of course go through it just like I would for any other class that's inside of a folder. I'd search for the folder name, so test folder and myactor.h. And this even works with nested folders. So if I had a test folder 2 inside of test folder, I'd say test folder 2 and whatever file .h. Doesn't matter. But this is how you would go about doing that. Now you say, well, I already have stuff inside of, this stuff is already outside of the test folder. How do I safely move it into there? Can I just click and drag? Kinda. Let's take a look. It's not showing up in our Solutions Explorer. Or yes, in our Solutions Explorer. So what we're going to do is we're going to hopefully try to undo that. Nope. I'm going to click and drag it back out to the tutorial folder. The safest way to do that I've found is I'm actually going to close the editor because we're going to have to load it back up. So I close the editor, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the files that I want to bring over. So I'm going to bring over the HUD, and I'm going to click and drag it here into this test folder inside of this is the Explorer, Windows Explorer, that's what it's called. And I'm going to come back out into this folder right here and right click on this Unreal Engine project file and generate Visual Studio project files. What this is going to do is it's going to completely check through our solution and restructure the files and folders that are in there. So it says the solution tutorial has been modified outside the environment. Just hit reload and it's going to do its magic. It's going to recalculate everything. And look, we can see in our test folder, we also have our tutorial HUD and our tutorial HUD CPP and .h. When you go ahead and do this, it's wise to go ahead and make sure that you recompile, because what you'll notice is that since you have changed the locations of these files, that it's going to be difficult for some places to find them if they have been included in other classes. So as you can see, I'm getting errors, and our error is in our game mode. So I'm going to come into the game mode. I need to go ahead and test folder. All right, and now that should work, because now we have included the full path, or the full relative path of the include here. So 2 succeeded. All right, now we know how to get folders in and manipulate our classes to get them to fit into different folders as we wish. Now I'm going to go ahead and reopen up the engine, and we're going to talk about getting our variables into categories and subcategories using uProperty specifiers. In the past, we've used uProperties in order to, expose variables to blueprints to make it maybe easier and faster to iterate on them. And they can actually, that was annoying. They can actually get pretty cluttered if you have a lot of them. So what we can hopefully do is get rid of some clutter by using some subcategories. Oh no, that's right there. All right, so we're going to have, 3 variables. We're going to have float health. We're going to have another float, and that's going to be stamina. And we're going to have an int for ammo. Let's say we've got a, survival game on our hands. And we go ahead and make all of these uProperties. Now all of these variables will be exposed to Unreal Engine's own systems by it being a uProperty. If we go ahead and say edit defaults only, then we can access these variables through our blueprints. And we'll be able to edit the default values of these variables, but we won't be able to do too much else with them. That's not an issue for this tutorial. You can do edit anywhere or anything else for that matter, blueprint read write. But where we can help ourselves is by adding in categories. So category, and it's going to be equal to, and we're going to just say that this is a test category. Or maybe you would say that this is the player, for example. So player. So category equals player. And we're going to come in and compile, and we'll take a look at it inside of our blueprints. Okay, come on. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So we're going to come into our first person character blueprint, open the full blueprint editor, and all 3 of our things are here. All 3 of our variables. If we've got dozens maybe, then this can get kind of cumbersome to navigate. What we can then do is we can also use subcategories. And this is going to be with the holding down the shift and backslash. It's 1/2 of the OR operator. I don't know what that line is called. Whatever. So if we separate one category from another using this, what we can do is we can say that this is player and this will be, player stats. I can go ahead and copy these two because these two are similar enough to be in the same subcategory, right? But maybe I'll keep this in the weapons, for example. Put this in a weapons subcategory, and what we'll be able to see is we'll see the player category, and we'll see two subcategories. We'll see our stats subcategory and our weapon subcategory. I'm going to close that, compile, and hopefully this will add in another layer of ease of use, let's say, so that we can find our variables easier, so we can find different components easier and faster. Not only for us, but for different animators, for blueprint people, for everybody. Helps everybody out. So I'm going to come back into the first person character blueprint, and we've got player, we've got stats, and we have our health and stamina, and we've got our weapons, and we have our ammo variable stored in here. All right, that's going to be it for today's tutorial. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section down below. Stay tuned. If you haven't seen any of the other tutorials on this channel, I'd recommend you go ahead and click on the eye in the top right corner of the screen right here. And that's it for me, and I'll see you all in the next one.